Hi everyone, Animal Girl here, back with another edition of TV Talk. It's Tuesday, and that means it's Star Wars Day. And this week's episode of The Clone Wars was Heroes on Both Sides. With the war having dragged on for 2 long years and going into its third, senators within the Republic Senate are beginning to grow frustrated, believing that they may finally be able to establish peace with the Separatists. Padme journeys to the Separatist seat of Ragsas, and if I mispronounce that planet, I apologize, to speak with an old friend of hers who is a member of the Separatist Parliament. With her, she brings Ahsoka, who Anakin has left in her care to teach her about politics, and more importantly, the politics of war. While on Ragsas, Padme reconnects with her old friend, while Ahsoka makes a new one. And Padme's old friend agrees to at least put the idea of peace negotiations on the table within the Separatist Parliament. However, back on Coruscant, Grievous and Dooku are up to no good and plan to make an attack on the Republic to prolong the war. Okay, things I liked about this episode. First off, we jump ahead 2 years. So we're now in the 3rd year of the Clone Wars. And from this point on, we're going to see all the characters are going to look a little different, particularly those that can look different. And by that, I mean Ahsoka, Padme, Anakin, and Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan, Anakin, and Padme are going to get very close to the way they're going to look in Revenge of the Sith, as we are getting very close to the events of that movie. While Ahsoka has grown a little bit. She's a little bit taller now, as she has gone from being 14 to 16. And her outfit has changed a little bit. She's no longer wearing a tube top and a mini skirt with white tights and or leggings and boots and arm guards. She's now wearing either a dress or a tunic, like a short dress or a tunic, with black leggings that have diamonds up the side. Still wears boots, but she's also got armbands on and finger gloves instead of just wrist guards. So they changed her appearance quite a bit. She's also carrying a second lightsaber. So at some point between when we last see her in this season and when we see her now, she acquires a second lightsaber and has begun training with both of them. Excuse me. We also see the political side to the Clone Wars as well as the Separatist side. Now, the first half of this is not unusual. We have seen the political side to the Clone Wars in a few other episodes as well, up before this one. But this is the first episode where we've actually seen the political side, or the Separatist side of the Clone Wars. And by that, I mean we're not dealing with, or solely dealing with, Separatist military personnel who are intent on destroying the Jedi and the clone army. We're dealing with a political figure, senator who wants to help bring peace, who believes, like Padme, that this war has gone on long enough. We need to end it. And that brings me to my third point of what I liked about this episode, and that is that we meet two separatists who aren't military personnel. Up to this point, all the separatists we've met have either been droids or military people like Count Dooku or General Grievous or Asajj Ventress. Here we're meeting two people who are not military personnel. One of them is a senator, and the other one is basically a civilian. So we're seeing that aspect, and we're seeing there's two sides to this conflict, and we're starting to get a general idea of what the other side is. Of course, we all know from the prequels that the Clone Wars is all just this big show. It's all being orchestrated by Palpatine, and that it's also he can gain absolute power over the galaxy. But again, like I said, we were up to this point focusing solely on the Republic side of what was going on within the war. Now we're kind of shifting gears, and at least in this episode, we were focusing on the Separatist side to a degree. We're kind of seeing things from their point of view. Okay, and the fourth thing I really liked about this episode is that we're introduced to a new character who will pop up again next season, and then in season 5 for an arc of episodes as well. And that is Lux Bonteri, who's voiced by Jason Spacca, I believe is how you say his last name. Lux is the son of a separatist senator. His mother was the other non-military personnel that we met on the separatist side, Mina Bonteri. And Lux also, not in this episode, but in the next episode we see him in, becomes Ahsoka's love interest. So now we have 3 Jedi who are kind of involved in a relationship that is forbidden by the Jedi Order. We have, of course, Anakin and Padme, who were married at the end of Attack of the Clones. We have Obi-Wan, who's still in love with Duchess Satine, and she's still in love with him. And now we're going to have Ahsoka and Lux, who I like to refer to as the teenage love story of the Clone Wars, as they're both 16. Or right around there. They don't really say how old Lux is. He could be 16, he could be 17. I don't know. They don't really come on and say that. But he's right around her age. So we do get to... We're getting into that. We're getting into more complicated... or not complicated, but more complex character developments with not so much our older characters, but more with Ahsoka. We're getting into more character development for her now. So we're seeing, we're going to start seeing things more with her, how she's starting to see things not so much solely from a Jedi's point of view and what the Jedi are telling her about the war. She's starting to look at things from other aspects because she's starting to get other teachers. Padme's teaching her about politics, so she's seeing the war from a political point of view. She's got friends who are not in the military at all. We'll get into that when we get more there, but we're going to see that, and she's going to start seeing that from their point of view, from her people's point of view, from the Taruga's point of view, because she and Anakin and Obi-Wan and Rex are going to have this little adventure to rescue a group of her people, but I'll get into that when we get there. So we're getting into that. And then through her friendship with Lux, she's going to start seeing things from or her relationship with Lux, I should say, she's going to start seeing things from a separatist point of view as well. So, like I said, we're not going to see much character development with the other characters, Obi-Wan, Ahsoka, Obi-Wan, Anakin, and Padme. Well, we will see some with Anakin, because we will see him start taking steps towards becoming Vader. But we're really going to start seeing character development with Ahsoka now until we last see her in Clone Wars. And I will talk more about that when we get there, though, so because it's going to be over time thing. Okay, things I didn't like about this episode. There wasn't a lot I didn't like about this episode. Now, does this episode contribute to the overall plot of Clone Wars with battles being won and whatnot? No, because it kind of ends on a stalemate to a degree with the whole political side of it. But I think the sole purpose of this episode was basically say, okay, look, we're jumping ahead a couple of years here. We've changed the looks of some of the characters, particularly Ahsoka, because we really could change her look. And we're introducing a new character. That's, I think, solely what this episode was. And they did a fairly good job of it. We do see some changes. Within the characters, like I said, we really see changes with Ahsoka in this episode, because when we last saw her, she was smaller and skinnier, and she was wearing a different outfit. Now she's taller, she's a little more filled out, because she's getting older, and she's got another outfit on. She's got a completely different outfit on. And we've been introduced to a new character who we will see for a few episodes later on down the line. So I felt this was a very good introduction episode, as I like to call it, because it's introducing us to the next half of Clone Wars, and we're introduced to a new character. Okay, question of the week. Do you think there might have been peace if Grievous hadn't launched his attack on Coruscant? And if I misspelled Grievous and Coruscant, I apologize. Please leave your answers in the comment section. Also, feel free to leave your comments and questions in the comment section. I do love to read those. And please like and share this video, or like and if you're watching it on Facebook, or like and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. And feel free to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, and DeviantArt. I do have my name for those 4 sites right there on the screen, as well as the pictures I use for the icons. Please note, all pictures seen within this video belong to their respective artists. I own absolutely nothing. Okay, quick reminder on my comment rules. Okay, feel free to check out my related Star Wars videos. My other TV talk videos on Star Wars. Please note a smiley face next to the episode indicates it's an episode I that is one of my favorites. A frowny face means it's one I didn't care for. As well as my other TV Talk videos. And my other videos. Okay, before I sign off, one thing I'd like to touch on, and that is that my TV Talk videos on Star Wars, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and Dragons will be posted both to my Facebook page and my YouTube channel. All other TV Talk videos will be posted exclusively to my Facebook page. Now, if you'd like to see any of those other 4 videos, my reviews on any of those 4 other TV shows that I'm doing videos on, or the backlogged videos of Star Wars, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and Dragons, you can feel free to check them out on my Facebook page. I will have the link in the description section. As always, thank you for watching, and may the Force be with you.